what's really going on here. It would appear we're live on the Engineering Robo TikTok channel, going to be going over some crypto coins and or commodities here in the economy. We're making up words as we go. We go with the flow. We watch out for our robos. We're going to throw up a chart here in a moment once I figure this out. I'm new to this whole streaming thing, especially on TikTok. Now, Bitcoin on the screen at the moment. EngineeringRobo is a true AI robo advisor that helps you determine more successful entries and exits for your investments in any market under any market conditions. There are a plethora of robos to pick from, depending on which packages you choose to indulge in. Plenty to fit any strategy you could imagine. You pick 3 of the many different robo advisors available, and once 2 of your chosen 3 become bullish or bearish, and once they agree on price action, you could use that to better determine your entries and exits. And so we break our investments up into 3 different ratios. We have the 20% support-based investment ratio used at our horizontal orange levels here. 30% based on our down trend lines, visualized overhead in blue as our solid diagonal lines there. And then we have that remaining 50% invested based on our robo advisor confirmations. And so Bitcoin on the screen at the moment, currently in a bearish state, technically, with this combination of robos, making up words as we go here, robos in play, technically in a bearish state. As you can see, 2 of our chosen 3 robos returning to bearish ever since the 20th of September here, after becoming bullish multiple times through a range of sideways here. And so only so much can be visualized on the screen here. We're going to zoom out and see just how EngineeringRobo has allowed you to capitalize on upside and has saved you from downside over the recent years here, with bullish and bearish confirmations leading us out of these phases of consolidation. So at the moment, though, at this exact point in time, it would appear a bearish state is present, though we have found ourselves back above support. And so key level visualized, $19,359 per Bitcoin is the level visualized here that we've been waiting for interaction with as support since confirming support above this level on the 4th of October. Interacting with it from above here is very bullish to see, and you can heavily consider investing your 20% support-based investment ratio at this level, as it is technically support. If resistance returns and we find ourselves back below, then we'd have to go with the flow of that confirmation and make our way sort of downward here to lower levels visualized, which we will get to when necessary. So at the moment, $19,359 per Bitcoin acting as support here for us. These blue visualized horizontal levels here present are 19,800, which is an all-time high met in 2017. Down below visualized as well is 17,176, a swing high that printed throughout that time as well. So these are just psychological levels that were created back in 2017, roughly 806 years ago tomorrow, visualized on the screen here to see just how we interact with them, not necessarily support or resistance just yet. We just like to see just how significant they might be. So we're going with the flow, though, of 19,350. That is our technical level to consider as support here at the moment until confirmed otherwise. Bearish robos in play, though, so watch out for continued sideways and or downside until bullish robos return. Locally, we have a dotted downtrend line here in the mix. Watch out for that. Breaking upward from it would suggest a continued move to the upside here toward overhead resistance waiting for us, though I believe the more significant confirmation is going to be this solid overhead downtrend line, is where you can more comfortably and confidently invest that 30% downtrend line based investment ratio, though breaking free from it may not be until a few months from now, as we have been hypothesizing a continued range of sideways consolidation and accumulation here for us for the coming months to the end of perhaps the year here, until we can fully solidify the bottom forming, in my opinion, far closer to a bottom than a top. And when we reveal the fear and FOMO zones here, you can see that we are in a very bullish range for accumulation based on a longer term, like with a longer term uptrend perspective in mind. In the short to mid term here, though, anticipate continued consolidation and or downside. So we're watching out for this volatility here. We're prepared for it. We got our robos in play, support levels to watch out for. So we can use that to consider our swing trades, perhaps, in that kind of perspective. Scalpers can capitalize on any market at all times, though investors should be, accumulating during these lows, picking up Bitcoin at the lowest price possible here, technically under like 40K, soon to be revealed with the fear and FOMO zones here. So right now we're looking at Bitcoin technically in a bearish state, above support, making its way towards its downtrend line. So we're watching out for that here. Hopefully we can continue to stay in the the high 19,000s, get back above 20K. That would be nice to see. EngineeringRobo in a bearish state, as I mentioned here, but as you can see, bearish Robo advisors coming into play throughout this downside here. Bear with me as I scroll the chart over here, relocate it. I'm on a laptop, I'm on Wi-Fi, I'm doing all these things on the fly. Hopefully the audio is transmitting okay. Hopefully the visuals are good. Do apologize for any technical difficulties. Bear with me here. But hopefully on the screen here, you can see a couple corrections that have occurred following bearish robos coming into play. You can see a 44% correction in this case between November into January last year into this year. And then we have a 58% correction between April and June of this year here during some sideways. Bearish Robo advisors saving us from that dramatic move downward following the consolidation kind of prior to it. And so we go with the flow of our Robos here. We can see signs of upside during a range of sideways. Technically, this is back in 2021. Multiple moves to the upside between 56 and 42% moves upward here after bullish Robo advisors coming into play. So we just go with the flow of the Robo confirmations. And so right now, watching out for the bearish Robo advisors as we look for hopefully continued support along our key level here. They'll visualize, as you can see, 13,500 is going to be the most significant technical level of support waiting for us if we do continue our way downward here. But like I said, we go with the flows of the confirmations no matter the situation. Trade more tactically with the strategy. Don't FOMO, use Robo, true AI, Robo advisors. No emotions based, don't got to worry about if it's going to go up or down. At the end of the day, Bitcoin has been sideways, jumping from, 19K to 20 something K back to 19K here, sideways. Hasn't done anything in months, but you can accumulate here during these lows though with a much more dramatic uptrend in mind. So let's go over to the fear and FOMO zones here. Bitcoin technically interacting with some key support levels. As I've been mentioning, these dashed horizontal blue lines are psychological levels visualized that were created back in 2017 that we've visualized here today that seem to be coming into significance, correlating with us currently. Swapping over to the fear and FOMO zones here. Let me adjust the chart one moment. Bear with me. Oh, a whole bunch of green to be seen. What's really going on? We're swapping over to the BLX chart. This is going to be a more significant Bitcoin chart. It's going to give you more price action, more history, more data for the fear and FOMO zones to use and become more accurate. So on the screen here, we have some price action. You can see I got some boxes visualized, some data here visualized. We're going to hide that though at the moment because I don't have the random access memory for it. We're going to try to see what we can do here. Hold on. Bear with me. Hold on. We're on the fly. We're doing it live. Hopefully you can hear me. We're all good. Okay, so here you can see most recent price action. We are coming from November 2021 all-time highs. Remember, $69,000 per Bitcoin, roughly back in November of last year. Since then, trending downward, entering this green range here, which began at the time around $36,000 per Bitcoin. Upon entering this green zone, a 45% correction has occurred, roughly, kind of here. Visualize. I would visualize it on the screen if I had the proper devices for it, but you can load this chart up and do the math yourself. Roughly a 45% correction from 36,800 all the way down to 17,800 has occurred relative to the fear zone here. You want to be accumulating during times of extreme fear when prices are heavily discounted. Buying during these lows, though, go oh no when Robo says there's FOMO. Behind the EngineeringRobo logo up here is the FOMO zone waiting for us near $200,000 per Bitcoin, pretty much. So that is where you can more comfortably and confidently consider taking profit, capitalizing on your longer term Bitcoin gains, because you've been accumulating here during times of extreme fear. But go oh no when Robo says there's FOMO. Plenty of traders will be waiting to buy at that level. There will be plenty of buyers there, afraid of missing out on continued Bitcoin upside. But those same people waiting to buy at 200K are the people perhaps selling at 20K or still not buying at 20K. So you want to be, like I said, accumulating here during these lows, and then taking profit when everyone else is jumping in at the top, because someone has to buy the top, not yourself though, because you got the fear and FOMO zones. But anyway, so the significance of the fear and FOMO zones here show longer term areas of accumulation and take profit for investors, kind of thing. So this is where long term holders of Bitcoin in this case are going to be getting in and out of the market. As you can see, from our most recent all-time highs that we met in 2021, we have not interacted with that FOMO zone, which we'll see back in 2017 there. The FOMO zone has not interacted with us, and so we've printed two very bullish highs within the 60K range. So far, returning to the fear zone here for actually the third time ever since 2017 FOMO zone interaction, so which we're going to go to in a moment here. So at the moment, currently FOMO zone overhead at 200K. We're here deep in the fear zone, 45% downward from entering it, trading sideways for a period of days here, however long necessary. If we go back in time, though, we're going back in time. If we go back in time ever so slightly, hopefully I can fit on the screen here. We have a FOMO zone interaction back in 2017. Prices entered into the FOMO zone range here, did about 150% in gains relative to entering it at that price, finally peaking near just about 20K. That's the 2017 all-time high that we've visualized on other charts. That then also shortly after was that $17,000 something $100 swing high. This is when those occurred, and we've broken past them and are returning to them currently. This is back in 2017. We saw the FOMO zone, printed a very bullish all-time high, and then proceeded to experience an 84% correction from the all-time high to the pretty much all-time low before finally recovering. So where price action starts to correlate is where the 45% correction relative to the fear zone occurs. And so we do have that visualized if I can if I have the RAM for it here. A 45% correction occurs entering the fear zone here for the first time throughout November of 2018 into May of 2019. That 84% correction is visualized from the all-time swing high to the all-time swing low. That first fear zone interaction was that, as I mentioned, 45% correction and over 170 days of sideways. Only several months later did we return to the fear zone here, briefly print another 45% correction, but only trade within it for about a month and a half. After two bullish fear zone interactions, some very nice time for accumulation, we see prices flying to and through the 2017 all-time highs visualized here, making our way to and through it, upward toward the FOMO zone, not yet interacting with it, experiencing that 69 nice $1,000 all-time high, like multiple times in the 60Ks there, nowhere near the FOMO zone, only to now find us back in the fear zone here, as we've said, for that 45% correction, perfectly correlating with the fear zone range, finding us back to 2017 all-time highs, suggesting that we may be at the bottom for this correction. This could be the Bitcoin bottom, though the 84% correction that we did discuss previously here would bring Bitcoin to roughly $10,700 if we were to see an 84% correction come from that 69 nice $1,000 all-time high and bring us all the way down to sort of 10K there. Why I think that is unlikely is because we have not seen the FOMO zone. And so the FOMO zone would add to the significance of an 84% correction. Though in my opinion, while that is not impossible, that would be a very, very bullish buy opportunity for the longer term uptrend in mind for Bitcoin investors. I do believe that is less likely to occur because there weren't enough traders exiting the market during these highs here. Many were getting in for the first time at a $60,000 Bitcoin because someone's going to have to. Though during these lows here, try your best not to get shaken out, because accumulating here during times of extreme fear would be a very bullish way to go about it. In my opinion, not financial advice. Do your own research. All these reasons why I'm just some random guy on TikTok live. But here we can see some technicals correlating with each other. History may not repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So here we just go with the flows, watching out for our Robos. The third very bullish buy opportunity for Bitcoin in the longer term here. Some very extreme lows, discounted prices to be heavily considering picking up some Bitcoins on, because you're not going to want to be buying it. And if you don't want to buy it now and you think it's too expensive now, it's definitely going to be far harder to accumulate when it's around 200K. So we just do what we gotta do. Scalpers can capitalize on the extreme volatility here, bouncing around these levels, though investors should be heavily keeping in mind continued accumulation during these lows. Pretty much anywhere under 40K, $39,000 per Bitcoin is the fear zone range here. Anywhere under that price would be a bullish buy opportunity for Bitcoin in the long term. But I do believe this has been the Engineering Robo TikTok stream. We're new to this. This is only the second of many, hopefully soon to come. We're going to be coming back at you, do this all over again. Be sure to like and follow to not miss out on the next live, not miss out on a Bitcoin update. We follow crypto primarily, though we go with the flow of any market, any economy. Let me know in the comment section there anything you'd like to see in upcoming streams or videos, any coin, company, commodity, general market news, crypto news, anything coming to the channel. Let me know. Be sure to follow, subscribe to not miss an update. We're going to be back at you before you know it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anyone who was able to stop by, we hope you enjoyed the live, and we hope to see you in the next one.